Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire and I'm so excited because I have a whole bag full of skincare empties and some products I've tried out that didn't really work out for me that I'm so excited to share because I feel like these kind of videos to me are always like the best representation of like, okay, you actually went through it. Let me tell you my thoughts. Not everything here I'm going to like. Some things I really do like, some things I just don't like. So let's just jump right in. So before we dive in, I want to make my usual disclaimer. I don't have any makeup on or anything on my face because you can't talk about skincare and have all this stuff on your face. So let's just dive into the first item that was on the very top. I actually just finished this. This is a Japanese skincare product. This is a facial cleanser. This is from Kosei. This is the milky white milky wash. It's currently like decent weather right now in Los Angeles. I feel like when it was like December, January, I felt like the air was like, everything was just kind of cold and it was like the California version of winter. I feel like now we're kind of like slowly eking back into warmer weather. And so I kind of used this cleanser during that kind of like transitional period where I feel like everything was a little bit cold, but also kind of like a little bit warmer. During the winter times, I really enjoy like a milkier kind of like cleanser instead of something really foaming because I just feel like it's not really that hot outside. I'm not really overly sweating. I want to really make sure I focus on my hydration during that time. But then also kind of like being mindful that like the warmer weather we get, I feel like I have a tendency to get clogged pores. And so I need something like slightly stronger. And so I really liked this. I feel like it did a decent job at cleansing my skin. I really don't think though that this is like the most deep cleansing kind of like a cleanser that you can ask for. I would definitely pair this with something else, with like a cleansing water, with another cleansing oil, exfoliation, something like that if you need like kind of like a deeper cleanse. I just found that this was like a really nice kind of in-between cleanser where I feel like I was still getting hydrated, my face still felt clean, but it wasn't like, you know, like overly stripping of my face. I do feel like when I wear makeup though, and I was using this, I definitely kind of had to really be mindful of like getting off all of my makeup with my like my cleansing water with cleansing oils first before I went into this, just because I feel like this by itself didn't fully remove any of my makeup. Okay, while we're just on the topic of cleansers, I'm just gonna share this foam cleanser really quickly. This is also a Japanese skincare brand. This is by Hada Labo. I will drop like the name in the description here on the screen so you guys can see. This one is pretty full, but so here's my thing with foam cleansers. Foam cleansers are typically known to be better for oily skin. If you have dry skin, they may not really work for you, but my big caveat with that is that I personally have found some foam cleansers that I really enjoy, and the reason why I enjoy them is that on the days where I am wearing makeup, if I'm going outside, I sweated a lot, I just kind of really want to make sure my pores are getting all cleaned. I really like a foam cleanser for that purpose, and so I like still to kind of like pairing like a foam cleanser with like a milky cleanser. And so I tried this out, expected to love it, but I actually really don't. It was way too drying for my dry skin, even during like, even if I'm like out exercising and have like makeup on, I just feel like it was so much for me. So if you have oily skin, if you really need like something super strong, I think this would be amazing for you. I just think that if you have like normal to dry skin and you're kind of like me, you want something a little bit stronger, this is going to be way too much. I would not recommend this, but definitely try this out if you have oily skin. I feel like this could work really well. All right, let's move on to some moisturizers. Here are the two empties for one of the moisturizers that I absolutely love. So this to me is, first of all, it's from Hada Labo. It is in the same kind of range as my favorite like lotion and emulsion from them. This is what I'm currently using right now. These are just to me like very affordable. They work so well. They're so hydrating. So first of all, if you have oily skin, this one may not be for you, but these moisturizers, I just love them. They're affordable And I find them to be so moisturizing without being too heavy, because like that's my biggest problems with night creams, is that especially at nighttime, I just feel like I don't want anything heavy on my face, but night creams tend to be like just so thick compared to like my daytime moisturizers, which, you know, as they should be. But so I usually find that what happens is that I go through my skincare routine and I just feel like at the end of it, I'm just like, I can't put this on anymore because it's so heavy. Even if I sit here and I wait for everything to get absorbed, I still just feel like it's like glop on my face, and I'd have to like maybe go in with like my daytime moisturizer or something. And so these ones, I just have found that they're just like a really, really nice balance of being heavy enough, but not too heavy for the skincare routine that I usually use. And so these I really, really recommend. They are affordable and I'm obsessed with them. I've gone through multiple ones of these. You can definitely use these during the day, especially if you have like super dry skin. I just feel like they're a bit, you know, heavy, and so I personally do not love that, especially for daytime and like during summers and all that. I just feel like that would be like way too much. But if you live somewhere with like a really cold climate and you still need that for like the daytime, I really recommend these. I feel like these have like never weighed down my skin, and so they're heavy but they absorb very, very well. Gonna go on the trend of something I like and then something I don't like. And yes, these are all Japanese skincare because I've been using so much Japanese skincare. Oh my gosh, I actually thought I would have like a couple other like Korean skincare, but like I don't have that many. Okay, here is the next product that I wanted to share with you guys. I've talked about this product in one of my last videos when I was talking about like oily skin products, because from this line, I really like the lotion and emulsion from them. This is the Kiku Sake lotion and emulsions, and so these, you can tell, are kind of just like, they're from like the same range. And so these two products I feel like work really, really well for oily skin because they're just so light, and so they sink into your skin very, very well, and then they layer very well with other products. And so I actually thought that their moisturizers would be something similar, where it would just, you know, kind of be light. It would be, you know, like a good like daytime cream, or even like a nice like nighttime cream, like my Hada Labo one. But this one, I honestly couldn't even go through that much because it was just so thick. It was so incredibly thick. Let me demonstrate, because I really wanted to like this product. I tried so hard to like this product. Okay, that's actually a bit much, so let's just like go down here, like do like a tiny dab. Like, I just feel like it blends well, but my problem with it is that like it just feels like a layer just sitting on top of my skin, because it looks nice, it feels amazing, but it literally feels like a body cream consistency. And I don't want to throw this away because honestly the whole thing is like pretty much full, and so I honestly just kind of want to use it as like a body lotion just to get through it, because that is how thick I find this to be. And the scent is also extremely, extremely strong. If you're not into sake, if you don't want that in either like in your ingredients, or just, you know, you find that it irritates your skin, I would just stay away from it for that reason alone. But also, even if you don't mind sake in your skincare ingredients and you actually really like it, this one is still just so powerful. It's just like in your face, and it's just like, it's way too much to be on my face, whereas I think on my body it would actually be really, really nice. And so this is kind of like my thing with this one. I'm still gonna, you know, keep it, see if we can use it for like some body lotion situations, because, you know, I actually love doing that, using like facial skincare level grade items on like the rest of my body. I just feel like it actually works really well if you find affordable enough items. So that's kind of my thing with this. I didn't love it for my face. I think I'll love it for my body, but like that's really not what this is intended for, so be warned. All right, going back in with the last moisturizer item that I've been using, or that I used up. This is from Decorte. You guys can see this empty, right? Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love Decorte. Okay, first of all, this is the Decorte AQ Absolute Treatment Cream. Decorte items, let me just put that out there, are expensive. They're kind of a splurge, and that's not for everyone. Also, a lot of décolleté ingredients to me use like amazing ingredients, but they also are more of like I'm gonna use more natural things. And so if you're like looking for like a high-end luxury skincare experience, you're also looking for like retinols and all these actives, and you're like whatever, like décolleté is not going to be the brand for you. However, I love them because I feel like they have amazing ingredients for the price I'm paying for it, but it's also just like I don't need to like lather on my face with all these actives, and like that's more of like my personal philosophy. I love a good retinol here and then. I'm currently pregnant, so I cannot use them, but it's like I have nothing against them. I just don't believe that that's like the best thing for my skin all of the time. And so that's really why I love décolleté, and I just find that all their products work really well. This is not sponsored by them. But this is the Absolute Treatment Sculpting Balm Cream. I tend to use this at night because I feel like this is a little bit heavier, and so I just feel like that's like a better like bang for my buck. But you can definitely use this during the daytime as well. I have just loved this. I think the first time I ever tried it, I was like, oh my gosh, like I do not want to like this. It's so expensive, but you know what? We're gonna try it. We're gonna hopefully, you know, just not like it. And then I fell in love. And it's the saddest thing in the world because I just love it so much. The thing with this is that I really, really like is that I think it blends in so well with all of my other skincare, like better than even my Hada Labo moisturizer. I just feel like at the end of my skincare, if I've not like gone crazy, you know, I just feel like this is like the perfect texture to like leave at like the top part of my skin where everything just feels so nice, almost like airy even, but it's like so moisturized, and I just absolutely love it. And I think the ingredients in this line are absolutely amazing. décolleté does have two different AQ lines. AQ stands for their absolute quality. They have like their regular AQ line. They also have an AQ line called Meliorti. I cannot pronounce it, but it's like basically like an even higher end version of a high-end version, and that one I have not tried personally because it's a little bit too expensive, also my price range for what I can, you know, justify. But this one I absolutely love, and that's all that we're gonna say about that. Okay, we're gonna move on to some serums, and here is where all of my Korean skincare actually came in, because I was like, where is all of the, I was like, I swear I wasn't just using Japanese skincare, but the last Japanese skincare item I have is actually this fun little thing. When I first got this, I was like, what is this? Did I buy the wrong thing? Nope, turns out this is just the packaging. So this is from Hada Labo. This is the, I believe this is from Hada Labo. This is like the Roto Milano CC serum. So it's like a vitamin C serum, first of all. Roto is actually the brand that makes Hada Labo, like these ones, and they have like a lot of different ranges, and then Hada Labo is just like kind of like this gold range, and so similar colors, so I always think that they're kind of like the same family. But anyways, this is the Milano vitamin C serum, and let me tell you about this. When I first got this, everybody was raving over this, and I was like, it's like, okay, interesting, I will try it out. And I was like, I'm extremely confused because it's so tiny. You're supposed to only use like a few drops of it, and then like use other things. Like, I don't know, it's very confusing. It's basically like, it is a little dropper, and you're supposed to just drop her out like a few drops onto your hand, and like that's your entire serum. I think maybe because of that, I just did not fall in love with this as much as everybody else is raving about it. And this is actually one of the very few products where I was like shocked I didn't like it, because I feel like I've tried out other vitamin C serums or just other serums in general that kind of give me like a better brightening effect than I found with this. And I haven't really found my holy grail vitamin C serum yet, because I feel like every single time I try something new, I feel like it kind of you know, it kind of works out. I kind of like it, but I like never really love it. And so I'm still on the hunt for something that I really like. The current one that I'm using, I'm not all the way through, but it's actually this one from Jumiso. This is the All Day Vitamin Brightening and Balance Facial Serum. This does have niacinamide in it, which I know kind of irritates some people's skin, but I love some niacinamide. I've kind of gone through like, you guys see like half of this. I actually really like this one, for example, a lot better than this one. I just feel like something with this consistency where it almost felt a little bit oily. And then the packaging, I just like wanted to love this because this was so hyped. Everyone talked about it so much, but I just did not love it. And I'm kind of disappointed. And honestly, at the current moment, if I had to like choose between the one that I've been using or like this one, I would just choose this one. And this one was just one that I was just kind of like browsing on YesStyle, and I was just kind of like, let me try that out. Because some people recommended this brand and I've like never used it. It has niacinamide, so I was like, okay, sure. So I really wanted to love this, but I don't, which is very unfortunate. And that is kind of all we will say about that. Next item is a ceramide serum. This is from APLB. This is the hyaluronic acid ceramide ampoule serum. Okay, so this ceramide serum is meant for hydration. And I find that to me, ceramides is like the #1 best ingredient for actual hydration in my skin. I've shared this before, but my hierarchy in hydration skincare ingredients goes ceramides, glycerin, and then hyaluronic acid, you know, and like the typical things that you usually see. And so this one does have ceramides in it. It also has hyaluronic acid, Centella asiatica, and some couple other extracts. I have really liked this. This is in one of my recommendations for oily skin types because I feel like this is one of those serums where it feels really light and it feels amazing, which first of all, I have used it up completely. It feels really lightweight on your skin and it does hydrate you very well. My problem with this though is that for me, I have dry skin. I have normal to dry skin, and so I don't really find it to be as hydrating as it could be. I have another ceramide serum that I personally love a little bit more, but I will say that during, like, for example, in maybe like the middle of summer when it gets like really hot, I think I will maybe pick something up like this again because it is very lightweight. And so I think that that's like the best, where I want it to be lightweight but also hydrating enough during the summer. And so that's the one thing that I'll say about it. To me, this isn't going to be like a year-long product, but I really enjoyed it. And I just kind of like really enjoyed the ingredients. I think for me, the Centella asiatica was actually kind of like a nice thing where I feel like kind of like, you know, like set up my skin very well, where I'm just like, yeah, I really enjoy this. This is kind of like smoothing everything out. And I honestly really would not have expected that because, I've been using Centella asiatica on my like bump for pregnancy because some people were like claiming that it kind of helps with like stretch marks. And so I don't know why I like was just like missing the boat on putting it in my skincare, but I really like this. Definitely recommend. Next item is from Ample N. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have a small version of this, but I've rebought and used up so many of the Ample N serums. So they have two that I love. This is the Peptides ampoule. They also have the ceramides ampoule, and in this peptides ones, they have like the regular one where it's like the peptide ampoule serum, and they also have like the ampoule 2X version. I personally just love the 2X version, but also that's just because I'm just kind of like anything good, just like, you know, get on my skin. But this is the 30 milliliter version. Before, when I was first trying this, they have like a bigger one, like the 100 milliliter version, and I actually find that to be like a better bang for your buck in terms of like pricing wise. Like when you go onto YesStyle, like if you buy the 100 milliliter one, it's gonna be more worth it per milliliter than if you buy like the smaller size. However, I had other things I wanted to try, so I only repurchased the smaller size for when my skin was kind of acting up, and I just love this in terms of like having like an affordable serum. Like, I just feel like this is something that I really recommend because yes, I can try higher end serums and get that amazing anti-aging effect, and like I want to keep using it. However, I also am a firm believer that you also can find really, really good affordable items to kind of also kind of like get you the similar thing, like get you some of that anti-aging, get that collagen, get that, like, you know, all that like good plumpiness back into your skin for like a good price. And that's kind of what this does to me. It's just really, really nice for what it's meant to be, because it's meant to be peptides, which is basically collagen. It helps with, you know, kind of like the elasticity of your skin. And so I find that something like this is like a really nice way of being able to have like anti-aging without needing to do all of the different like actives, and also to have something gentler on your skin. And I just really find that it really, really works. I find it's so good. I can rave about it all day long. This is like one of my favorite brands for where they just, you know, their serums and all the products, they have a purpose. Like the Cerumized one, I'm like, okay, this is great. Hydration, peptides, anti-aging, done. It's like so simple, and I just love that. We're gonna talk about a product that I didn't really like. This is the Medicube Triple Collagen Serum. I didn't end up finishing this because this was kind of irritating my skin. This is from Medicube, yep. And I thought I liked this when I tried this before, but I recently retried it and I just didn't love this. I always like in my serums routine to have like a ceramide, something for hydration, something that is more anti-aging, a vitamin C serum, and then kind of like, you know, one of my other favorite serums I will talk about in a moment that I always use no matter what. But like that's kind of like always the things that I look for. I have to look for hydration, anti-aging, I have to look for my vitamin C for brightening. And so this is kind of like fit into, okay, I need some collagen, like something kind of like plump up my skin a little bit into that like anti-aging kind of category. I just find that this didn't do anything. And it layered pretty badly with some of the other products that I use that I really liked when I was using just them. And so I kind of feel like this was the problem child. I don't know what it is about this, but I just kind of feel like if anything else, even if it didn't irritate my skin, I just didn't feel like this did anything. I feel like the Ample N peptide serum was much better than this, and they kind of like to me are the same thing because they're both like peptides and collagen. And so I definitely just do not recommend this. I just kind of feel like I was just like putting something on my face and I saw absolutely no results. So that's all I'm going to say about that. We will not linger here for too long. Definitely not my favorite. Okay, the last serum we need to talk about is this one. I hope you guys can tell through like the little, how dirty the cap is, that this actually isn't empty. But this is, I love this serum. I'm already like onto my next one, and I just cannot say enough good things about it. I feel like, once again, this is like my thing with Decorte. Everything that they do is like, there's obviously some products from Decorte that I tried out that I felt like that wasn't really for me, but I just really, really like it. And so, okay, let's talk about this for a second. Somebody on one of my favorite skincare Reddit subreddits, the Asian Beauty one, first of all, that's like, I love that subreddit. So many just great people like just sharing skincare recommendations. Somebody the other day was kind of like talking about this product and kind of being like, oh, you know, I don't really understand the hype for it because like they just feel like they don't really have like amazing ingredients for like what it is, and like I didn't see any results. And I was kind of like, okay, you didn't see any results, if that's not for you, totally fair. Skincare is very unique. Not everyone is gonna like everything. But in terms of the ingredients, I just 100% do not agree. I love that it has so many different like amazing types of proprietary ingredients, and the mix of it and how they just come together in a way that doesn't irritate my skin, even though you look at it and you're just like, you feel like it should, is what I really, really love about Decorte. I also personally have found that this has worked really, really well. And this is kind of the thing where when products work really well, I feel like at first you're just kind of like, oh, this is amazing. And then you kind of like, you know, stop, like forget how terrible your skin looked before it. And then you stop and you're like, why did I stop? because my skin looks amazing with it. That's kind of how I feel about this. Like every single time that I've like stopped, I feel like within like the next month, my skin can just already tell. And so I've kind of just already gotten to the routine of I'm always just gonna have this. I absolutely love this. And that's kind of all I have to say. I really, really enjoy this. This to me is kind of like a really, really nice anti-aging serum that kind of just gives me everything that I want. The other thing that I've been trying out from Decorte recently, this is not fully complete, but this is the Decorte Lip Dimension. I'm just gonna want to talk about it for a moment. It comes in this beautiful gold packaging. Whenever I saw this, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But there's something about the combination that I've currently been using of the Lift Dimension Serum and also this Repair Serum that together it makes my skin glow. Like, I feel like I'm glowing. And I literally feel like all that I've tried differently is I've started using this. And this is the Decorte Lift Dimension Serum for Ultimate Lift and Firm Treatment. And so I feel like Decorte's products are meant to work in conjunction with each other. And this one to me, I feel so snatched all of the time. And I just feel like my skin is like bouncy and plump. And I just kind of feel like that's the thing with all Decorte's products. And I won't kind of keep going on my soapbox about it. But I just really, really like this. It is very expensive. And so I totally understand. It's like, you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, well, I can't afford that. They do sometimes offer samples. But I will say, like, sometimes like it takes a while to really see the effects of like using something for the first time. But like, so if you want to splurge, I still recommend this one. I will keep going through this, so I think this is probably going to be one of the last times I talk about this for so long because I just love this so much. Last thing we're talking about is sunscreens, and I have two sunscreens that I recently finished. This is let's talk about this one first. This is the Can Make Mermaid Skin Gel UV. This is SPF 50 for face and body, first of all. So this product is very interesting because it's good for both. And I definitely feel like with the texture of it all, like you can tell it's kind of meant for both. I feel like this is like a really, really nice one because it's very heavy. And so it kind of like works well for feeling like you actually have something on. I also do think that it goes really well as kind of like a primer for when you are putting on makeup. My problem with this though is that sometimes it's a little bit too heavy and it blends in well, but to me, not in a way where it feels comfortable, especially as we're getting into like warmer weather now in California because wow, like I lived in New York for like nearly 10 years, and during this time in New York it is still like freezing cold weather, and I'm like, okay, that's like one of the benefits of moving out here because I was very resistant to this move. But I just honestly feel like this one's a little bit too heavy, and we're kind of getting to the point where I can kind of feel like it's like weighing down my skin. So I have used most of it. I've not fully finished this, however, just for full disclosure, so I'm going to show you guys what the texture looks like, where it kind of comes out and it is very thick, and so it definitely would be very nice for the body, especially during this time. However, I just kind of feel like for putting this on my face right now, it is just a bit much, and so I've kind of started to move away from this product on my face and back into the other product that I've finished up. This is my empty, and this is my brand new version that I'm using up again. This is the Skin Aqua UV Super Moisture Milk and SPF 50 as well. Oh my gosh, this is just my favorite product. Let's demonstrate on like the full product for you guys with the fresh one so you guys can see. First of all, it does come out like a milk. Do you see how like light and airy this is? Oh my gosh, it is like my absolute favorite. I feel like it gives me very, very good coverage, and it just blends into my skin like absolutely nothing. And that is kind of like what I find amazing, is that like it just sits so well with everything else. Even if I have like a heavier day of skincare or something, it still just blends amazing. And I just like literally cannot say enough good things about it. My husband is brown, and so he's a lot darker than me, and so we also like keep that in mind too when we are buying like sunscreens and stuff. Like some things that like blends okay on me just like doesn't really blend as well on him, and this one just blends in amazing on him, where like it's just like you can't see anything. It doesn't leave the white cast. This is kind of like a hybrid formula between chemical and mineral, and so I also kind of really like that you kind of like get a little bit of both. I will say though, for swimming in the ocean, it's not good to use chemical, and so I would just kind of like keep that in mind. I'm not a big like jumping into the ocean kind of a swimmer person, so for me it's not really a concern. But you know, we're kind of getting to warmer weather anyways, as I said, so that's a kind of like something that I will throw out there, just because the chemical sunscreen ingredients is harmful for the coral reefs. So with that being said, I love this, and that is kind of like all that I have to say about it. I really, really love this. If I can buy one sunscreen for the rest of my life, it would be this one. Absolutely this one. And I don't know what's been going on with the whole like Trump and tariffs and like whatever situation, but recently, if you're in the US, something to be aware of with a lot of the Asian sunscreen items is that the FDA has been kind of like cracking down a lot more on some of the supposedly unapproved filters that Asian skincare use in their sunscreens. So this applies to like Japanese sunscreens like this one. It also applies to Korean ones like the Beauty of Chosun one that's like really, really popular with like the Western audiences, which first of all, this is not like the go-to for Korean audiences. It's not the go-to sunscreen for Korean general population, as I've recently learned, but that's okay because I still think it's a really great sunscreen. But point of saying all this is that they have been cracking down. So some of the brands like Beauty of Chosun, Skin 1004, they kind of like posted things on their website where you can no longer buy the sunscreen on their US website simply because of that. And so it's not to say that these sunscreens are bad, that the filters are bad. It's just that the FDA has not reviewed and approved any new filters in like 20 years. And Asian skincare are just, you know, a little bit more innovative. They're a little bit more on top of it to me. And so they have new filters that are, to me, much better designed for coverage and for protection. And I say that because I visibly see the difference in my skin when I use like an Asian sunscreen versus when I don't. And it is like a night and day difference, and no amount of like $200 whatever fancy American SPF can ever convince me otherwise, because I've seen the difference on my skin when I go on vacation and I'm like in like the beating sun, and like the Asian skincare sunscreens just protect my skin so well compared to the American ones. And so that's something that I will mention just to be mindful of. And so I know some people are kind of, you know, going crazy and stockpiling. I personally am not the kind of person, I love stockpiling, first of all. However, I am very also conscious of the fact that things do expire, and the shelf life of like most of the sunscreens is going to be around 3 years. But still, just keep that in mind when you are buying things. If you kind of want to, you know, get ahead of anything, if you're kind of scared, definitely, you know, like repurchase extras, but just check out the manufacturing date and just kind of make sure that you will be able to use it up within that time frame of when it's supposed to be expiring. So, and those are all the products. Oh my gosh, it was kind of a lot, but I hope you guys kind of got a sense of some of the things that I've been trying out recently that I've been loving. I have new things I've been trying out and I just really, really love, mostly in kind of like the serums kind of situation and some moisturizers, because I feel like I go through those so often, whereas like my lotions and emulsions, I kind of have like the ones that I really love and I just kind of been sticking with them. But those are all my products for the product empties, the things that I didn't really like and kind of like set to the side. I hope hope this video was helpful. I always find that product empties are kind of helpful because then it's like you actually use through the whole thing. You can actually tell me if you like it or not. I buy all my products on YesStyle. You can use my code claire.shaykazi to save yourself some money. If you go on their website, YesStyle usually has a lot of great like side-wide codes. So if you buy over like $80, over $150, over $250 or something like that, you can get like a small like discount, like 8%, 10%, 15%. What's amazing is that you can layer my code claire.shaykazi on top of any of those other codes. In the checkout section, you'll see 2 areas, one for a coupon code and one for rewards codes. And so you can kind of fit in my code along with any of those site-wide discount codes together, kind of like maximize some of your savings a little bit. I buy everything from YesStyle simply because to me it's like the most reliable. They also have an amazing Japanese skincare like selection, which is what I really appreciate as well, because I really love my Japanese skincare besides just this Korean skincare. And so that on YesStyle, I feel like I can find a great selection of both items. And then if you do spend over like a certain amount, you can get free express shipping, which I always kind of like tend to buy in like big batches. And so I usually always kind of like qualify for that express shipping time frame. And so I've always found that shipping to me here in the US is very quick. And that is my recommendation for where to buy all these things, because sometimes you just don't know where to start. And so I recommend YesStyle. Be sure to use my code to give yourself some maximum savings, because this is a crazy economy and we all kind of need to maximize savings where we can. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Claire and I will see you guys in my next video.